You have it all in your heart and in your soul, but all you need is a little guidance. Welcome to Motivational Radio France with your host, Longi Agoha from Paris.
Faith, this is wonderful. What you're preaching here is great, because I hope our listeners would really enjoy listening to you and really become kind of, ambassadors, or try to take action, because what you're trying to tell us is that you took action in spite of the heavy losses inflicted on the people. You want to help in your little way, and that there are lots of young people listening to us. And if any young person listening to you now say, come on, let's do it, how would that person help you? Just tell us, do you want people to help you out?
Well, okay, we have different modes of giving, ways of giving. Firstly, I would say they could go onto our website, which is www.melqoshmissioninternational.org. I'll spell the whole name later.
Go ahead.
On.
Okay.
But they could go in there. We are looking for volunteers. If people want to come to Sierra Leone, being Sierra Leonean or non-Sierra Leonean, you're looking to find a place where you could volunteer your time and make a difference in the lives of people who have nothing. You can, contact us, send us an email. At Faith. The email is faith@melqoshmissioninternational.org. You can...
Yeah, we'll have to put it on our website as well. We'll have to put it on our website so that people can get to... They send you mails, and maybe if there are checks or whatever, they will send it to you. Okay?
They can contact us on Facebook also. They can contact us on Twitter. On Twitter, we're Melqosh M. On Facebook, we're Melqosh Mission or Melqosh Mission International. We have account, so people could contact us, go there. If you want to volunteer, come to Sierra Leone. If you're in the healthcare sector, we are in great need, because the amputees are actually dying as a result of lack of medical care. So that's one area that we do need help. And also we say where you can't go, your money can go for you. So if you want to donate, you can also go onto our website and, donate. It's a secure website. Donate whatever you feel led. You could also say, if you live in the UK, people living in the UK, they can also, donate clothing. We've just sent a 20-foot container to Sierra Leone, where we sent second-hand clothing, new clothing as well. We also sent household stuff, sent Medicare. Of course, we had to send our educational materials for the school. But all throughout the year, in fact, from February, we start, doing an Operation Clear Out campaign, where we ask people for them to be able to donate their unwanted. We say your unwanted is most wanted. So what you don't want, others would, benefit from them. So there are different ways of giving. We also have an Adopt a Child, project that we've also started, where we say as little as £20 per month can actually, help a child to go through their education, go through, being off the street, having, a 3-course meal, so you can actually adopt a child, you can be in direct contact with that child, your children could become pen pals with that child, because sometimes it's good for our children living in the diaspora to be able to appreciate life and the values of life, because there are the children their age that are even worse off, so
right.
If we're able to inculcate that within our children, in the area of actually being charitable and being able to mentor even these children, it can even help our children in the diaspora.
That's right.
So
I agree with you.
Different ways of giving.
This is wonderful. You have really taken us to that. Taken us with you into your story. I, for one, I'm deep into the story, because you started by telling us your own story, and then now into other people's story, how you're helping them. That is very, very good. And so the future amputees and helping people to help themselves, right?
Definitely. And Melqosh Mission International has actually gone international, as the name goes. So we're helping women who've gone through different types of abuse globally. They can reach us from January. We're setting an online mentoring and support system wherein they can register with us and say they need directions on where to go for counseling or where they need support. We'll be able to point them in the right direction. We'll also becoming advocates for women who are going through various types of abuse. The other third tier mission that we're also embarking on is to help single mothers who have children with disabilities. Now, I am a single mother. I've got one child, and but thankfully, but I know the challenges I've gone through in the last 11 years having to bring up my son on my own. And I know that it's even 10 times worse when people have children with disabilities, maybe one or more child with disabilities, and the parent is single and doesn't have the support of a partner or husband, or sometimes even families are far from them for them to be able to have contact. So we are also providing a program where these people will benefit from day relief or weekend relief, where they can just have maybe just one day off, go to the cinema or dinner for time that they'll be having to themselves, and they will just have respite, because I believe that a happy carer can also make a disabled child happy, because if that carer has time to themselves just to go and recoup and come back and give love to that child that needs help, especially the children that are totally dependent on the parent 100%. Sometimes even these carers do need time for themselves to be able to, regenerate themselves, just have that time away and come back. Our project's growing as the years go by, as the day go by. We just want to help marginalized women worldwide.
I have a feeling that this is going to be an international thing, because it will spill over to other West African nations, other West African countries, and maybe, who knows, the whole of Africa, and maybe worldwide. I mean, I see it going very, very far.
Well, it's actually started already. The international bit has already started, because this week, Color Purple International Week, we have women in the United States, women in Africa, women in the United Kingdom, who are not just Sierra Leoneans, who are also partaking in this week. We have people who are wearing purple already, even though the week is just about to start. We have women who are posting their pictures saying, we support this cause. And what we're planning on doing is that whatever we raise from that, for every year, we're starting off with Sierra Leone this year and the UK, but for every year that we have more people coming on board, the funding will be used to execute projects in one African country every year. So we add in one African country every year. So as it is already, it has become international, and God willing, it would become what it's meant to be. And indeed, we will stay true to our vision, where it says, in that day I will gather her that is lame and make her a remnant, her that is outcast, a strong nation. These women will become a strong nation internationally.
So in fact, one way you are fulfilling the dreams of your parents somehow, and your own dream as well.
You just got that.
Hey. I've been listening to you. Right. Yes, that's it.
The funny thing is, in 2010, when I went for my second, outreach program in Sierra Leone, the disabled unit that was used in my hometown, I was actually told during the time I went and did the empowerment session, I was told that that land where on was actually donated by my father. Now, that for me, I was so emotional, because I never knew about that. Go there and trying to do my own bit. It was just like the Lord was just telling me this is just a continuity, and it takes me back to where Abraham had actually started. Isaac continued. Where Isaac stopped, Jacob continued. If you look at where Abraham had built an altar to God in Shechem, that was where Jacob also went and prayed and built an altar. So sometimes what we're doing is not just even for ourselves or our children, but for our children's children.
Yeah, in fact, your father must be smiling wherever he is now.
Yes, I pray so. I just wish he was alive.
Yeah, I imagine. I imagine that. Yes, I imagine that. Yes.
He passed away 2 years ago. He passed away 2 years after the war ended. Died prematurely as a result of the war affliction, the afflictions he got from the war, and he never recovered from, his afflictions. But one thing that I know is that, he taught me a lot of things. My mom did that also. My mom also has a very indomitable heaven, and I know that, smiling down, But one thing, miss him being here. There have been, like, we won the BEFFTA awards, the Humanitarian Awards, a month ago. Now, that award was that recognizing that what God has deposited in you, you know, and also hopefully that would also bring recognition to those who would want to partner with us. For the first time in the longest time, I actually missed my dad. I just wish he was there with me to go and pick up that award.
If I want to, let me hazard a guess here. I have a feeling that really you have discovered what you came to this planet to do somehow.
You have just hit them on the head, because for me, it's all about now. I can sleep at night. You know what? Even if the world was to end now, or if I was to go and meet my maker, I would say that if I may not have accomplished everything, but I fulfill one bit, and I'm working every day I wake up to fulfill my destiny. I found my purpose. You know, a lot of people go to the grave without realizing who they are, or, you know, unwrapping their embryonic capabilities that they have. You have a lot of people who are geniuses without even knowing that geniuses. A lot of people who were meant to be innovators, meant to be, you know, groundbreakers, who were meant to be world shakers. But unfortunately, they went to the grave without even realizing that. So I am fortunate that I've found what I was born to be and what I was born to do.
Okay, Faye, this is arguably one of the best you've given us here. Listen, why don't you? Is it possible for you? Because now that you have done it, because there's nothing better than experience. Okay, now that you have done that, you have realized your dream, you have seen it, you've gone through it, and now you're practicing it. Is it possible to tell our listeners what anybody can do to discover his or her dreams? Because I believe that many of us are on this planet just walking aimlessly, not knowing exactly what we came to this world to do. So if, with your own experience, could you hazard a guess? Try to tell us exactly what anybody can do to discover himself or herself.
My number one thing would be is believe in God, have faith in God. A lot of people say that God does not exist. Well, he exists, he speaks, and he's there. He's closer than a friend. He's closer than even a mother and our father. So one of the things I would say is that great humility, I would say, discover God and discover the God in you. When I say that, I'm not saying that we're mini gods, but, you know, the God, because God resides within us. So it's good for you to discover the God who created you, that is within you. Discover who he is, and then you pray without ceasing. If you have to fast, you have to wait on God and find your purpose, and you have to write it down. You know, there's a part in the Bible, in the book of Habakkuk, when it says, write the vision down, make it plain. Write down your vision so you can always go back to it from time to time, you know, when the challenges, when the storms of life would come, because it has not been easy to, even with our project, but I had to have stubborn faith, aggressive faith, go back to God's word, hold on to that word and the promise that he had given. So it's always good for you to write down, you know, and then work on yourself, never stop learning, push yourself. I want to do more. I want to go back to school and, you know, get a postgraduate course. I want to, like, you know, do some of the things as a child, some of my dreams, some talents that I'm yet to even work on. I want to work on myself. Even as Melqosh is growing, I, as an individual, also want to grow and be at par with my mission. So I always tell people, the day you start planning or growing is the day you'll start dying. Not just dying straight away, but the spiritual death, and also one of a physical one, because you're not allowing, you know, the seeds within you to grow, and those seeds will die. So work on yourself.
Wow, that is great. Thank you very much. These are practical examples anybody can follow. You know, just go and work on yourself. Pray, ask God to show you that for which he brought you here for. There must be a reason why he brought you, because I believe there was a struggle even from day one. During our conception, we struggled and we swam through and came out into this world. There must be a reason. Out of millions of sperms, you went through and you stick in there and they stayed 9 months and came out. There must be a reason for your creation. I believe that very much. And I believe the best thing that can happen to anybody on this planet is the day he discovers exactly why he was created.
That is so true. And, you're so on point with that.
Yeah.
I always say that, even when you go through some challenges, if you are not a threat to Satan and his cohorts, he wouldn't come and try and challenge you. And if your life goes through, you go through life smooth sailing, thinking, well, I've never had problems, then maybe you haven't really started even living, because the minute you start living, the challenges would come, but you would overcome no matter what. In fact, the challenges are even a blessing in disguise, because they come to catapult you to the mountaintop. If you look at Joseph, had he not gone to Egypt, had he not been, told, to Potiphar by his own brothers, he wouldn't have become, the next best thing after Pharaoh, ruling Egypt. So in life, you need to get to that point where you're now challenged, and we are challenged even from the time that we're just little sperm cells fighting to go to that ovary, trying to fertilize that ovary.
That's right. Now you're talking. So it's been a big struggle. It has been a big struggle from day one. And I cannot imagine somebody coming onto this planet after so many struggles, still fold his arms and thinking that things will just happen like that. It's not true. Okay? So you have to fight your way through. You only win by fighting. You cannot fold your arms and things happen like just the way they are. No. Things happen when you move. When we move, things move. If you don't move, nothing moves. So that's very, very good, because you are somehow a living example of how things can move if we know what it is. So do you have any other messages to pass through so that before we round up?
Well, I would just treat yourself as how you want to see yourself, as how you want to be seen. Treat yourself, uphold yourself as how you want to be upheld. And I'm speaking to the women out there. Do not cheapen yourself for anything. Do not compromise on yourself, because there's a reason why you're here on earth. Become the queen that you are destined to be. I speak to the male out there, also the men. Become the king that you are meant to be, and love yourself. For you to be able to even get love from the outside, you have to have inner love within yourself that would radiate out from the internal to the external. So love yourself. Most importantly, love others, even the unlovable. Keep on loving. Love the world. Love those who have nothing. Love those who are in need. Help them however you can. Love conquers all.
Wonderful. Thank you very, very much. What would you tell people who listen to Motivational Radio France?
Well, I will tell them it's not just about listening. Whatever you get from motivational speakers, apply them into your life. And motivational speakers doing a lot, because we don't give them enough credit as we should, because somebody motivated me to become who I am.
That's right.
We all need a mentor or somebody that would push us or speak through us or speak life through us, for us to be able to run our race well. So thumbs up to our motivational speakers. Let's give respect where it's due, especially like you're doing such a fantastic job bringing people in, onto radio, so that, the viewers, we don't know who is out there who may be even listening to me, whose life has been touched, whose life has been changed, who God is speaking to right now. So, thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you for motivating people through your radio.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is mine. I hope I will listen to you one more time again, maybe very, very soon. And our listeners will also get to hear you again, and you give us progress report, a charity organization.
Thank you. And once again, the website for our mission is www.Melqosh Mission International. The Melqosh Mission International. Melqosh is spelled MELQOSH. And then you've got mission, and then you've got international.org.
Wow. Okay, that's it. So we'll put that on our website as well, so that people can go there and express themselves if they want to express themselves. But I guess with all that you've said, I am very, very sure there will be a lot of reactions.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Expected.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, you take care.
Okay, you too. Bye. This podcast was brought to you by the Motivational Radio France with your host, Longiago Barris.